Hello,
Truth.
listeners.
Come on, I'm ready, Coxie. Hit me. I'm going to get this joke.
My brother and I laugh so hard about how competitive we are, but I laugh harder.
Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nick unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
Okay.
That's it? You got nothing? Nothing at all?
Insert.
I can't believe you didn't giggle at that, or at the very least snort.
I'm not feeling the belly laughs on that one. Sorry, Coxie. Maybe our listeners will. Everyone seems to like to validate you and say how amazing your jokes are, Nicole.
It makes me wonder if they think that you pick on me all the time or something.
It's just for the show, listeners. I'm doing it for entertainment value only. I promise. I don't always tear Nicole down.
Brother. No. Well, no, you don't. You do a lot of lovely things. You say beautiful things about me.
Yeah, no,
very supportive. And you are like that annoying brother that I've already got one of. I really never needed another one, and yet I've got one as a business partner.
You're welcome, Nicole.
Thank you, Warwick.
So something that's almost as bad as an annoying sibling is having consecutive long weekends for your trade business. How's that?
That was a brilliant segue. Oh, my goodness, I used to struggle with these. And they don't happen every year, but in Queensland particularly, this year is a doozy.
Yeah. Well,
we've got
three in a row?
We do. We have Easter, Anzac Day and the Labor Day long weekend. 3 in a row. That's a struggle
awesome
to afford.
If you're an employee.
Yeah. Great way to have an extended holiday.
Sucks if you're paying the wages.
3. And what about productivity? Like, it's really hard to come back from a long weekend. It's really struggle. It's a big struggle. You by day 3, you're in holiday mode. You've just started. Well, for me anyway, I'm really kicking into the regularity of the time off at the end of day 3. So day 4, coming back to work for me is it's challenging.
Yeah, it's a tricky one for employers, and this sort of March to May, actually March through to June, because in the other states we got Queen's birthday as well in June. Like, there are a lot of public holidays stacked into that second-ish quarter of the calendar year, and it puts a big strain on an already strained business. I know we talked in last week's episode about the amount of chaos in business and some of the stuff that you've all had to work through in the last couple of years in your businesses with lockdowns, and even now with everybody sharing the COVID germs around. We've got all this mandate stuff in place with quarantine, ISO, all that sort of jazz. So how the hell do you manage 2 or 3 consecutive long weekends in a row in a business where cash flow is already tight? You know what you do, Nick? You enter the competition to win 15 grand with Thrive.
I did not know where you were going there. That's a nice one.
Because, $15,000, you could plug those cash flow holes in your business, and all you've got to do is write 25 words about what you would do with the moolah.
That's a good one.
We will stick the deets for that.
Only one person can win that.
Yeah, we will stick the deets for that in the show notes, gang. So if you haven't put your hat in the ring for that entry yet, make sure you go and do that. But we're actually going to come at you with some tips that Nicole's got, because I can't really think of anything right now.
I've got heaps. I guess at the end of the day, if you've left it to this point where you're panicking about it, there's not a lot we can do really quickly. There isn't, other than creating some productivity targets for the team to ensure the time that they are at work, they're pushing hard and we're actually delivering some results. And I think the key here is part of that planning. It's using your crystal ball that you have into your business. Yes, you have one. I'll tell you about it in a moment. To see your way clear, so you know that these times are coming up and you've budgeted for that downtime. So the downtime isn't just financial, it is productivity as well. There's a knock-on effect, particularly when we're coping with rain delays and staff shortages and material delays. and all that hassle and stress that comes with right now. But using your crystal ball, you can actually see that some of this is coming. And your crystal ball is called, wait for it, your cash flow forecast. Boring as
Sorry,
anything.
I just tuned out there for a minute, Nicole.
Until I tell you, it's a predictor. It can tell you what is coming in your business. It is let's not call it the cash flow forecast anymore. Let's call it your cash flow crystal ball, or even your business crystal ball, because all of your decisions should be made around what your cash flow is doing in your business. It's always going to be up and down and in and out and a bit squiggly and sometimes more down than up. And that is part of being a business owner. But you can plan for that. You can understand with some forethought that you do have this 2 or 3 long weekends in a row, backed up by some more in June and some more July. I think we've got another one in July. They keep rolling through. And if we've taken that snapshot a good 3 months out, we can actually plan for it. We can have put away the money for full-time staff or part-time staff so they're still getting paid without causing a financial strain to the business. We can have been driving some really hard productivity in the week or two beforehand to ensure that we don't have an extended delay where we can, obviously, rain permitted. We can be doing what we can to boost team morale so they're feeling pumped and excited about getting through a project rather than feeling really down and flat and yucky about having to come back to work on a Tuesday. There are measures that we can put in place, but we need to do it with some forethought rather than getting to this point. We're halfway there and scratching our heads and wondering how on earth are we going to afford these couple of long weekends in a row.
So really what you're saying, Nicole, is it's about prevention, not cures.
It's always about prevention. Isn't it boring though?
But prevention's not exciting.
Nope.
And dramatic. And last minute.
Yes.
I do find that it's one of the things people really put off, and I like the way you've changed the definition of a cash flow forecast to calling it the cash flow crystal ball. It's kind of like your business oracle.
Oh, nice one.
I am a bit of a matrix geek, but
yes.
But it is. It's kind of like you go to this thing to get all the answers. Sometimes they're a little bit cryptic, a bit like the oracle's answers, and sometimes it raises more questions. But as a business owner or an aspiring business owner, a lot of the quality of your results comes from the quality of the questions that you ask, and your money oracle is going to raise some questions in your mind that, shameless plug listeners, here we go. If you were part of the tradiepreneur community, you could actually ask a whole bunch of other trade business owners and Nick and I, who happen to be very experienced business coaches, bet you didn't know that, some good questions. You could ask a whole bunch of other people. What if you could ask like 30, 40, 50 other trade business owners, hey, how have you dealt with this? Or how are you guys getting through this consecutive long weekend thing? And they'll probably all tell you, because they're tradiepreneurs, that you should have done your money oracle spreadsheet 6 months ago and you'd know what you were doing, dopey.
They
Is
would
name
never
calling
call
a
you
good
dopey.
way to motivate people?
No, it's really not. They would never call you dopey.
No, they wouldn't call me dopey. They'd call me a whole lot worse than that.
They might call you a whole lot worse than dopey, but they will never call their fellow tradiepreneurs dopey. They're not those kind of people.
Oh, no. Anyway, so yes, it's about prevention, Coxie. I think it's never too late, though. It's like anything. It's better late than never, and I don't think it's ever too late to start having a look at your cash flow. So, we're not at the end of the consecutive long weekends yet. So jump on and do some sort of a cash flow crystal ball exercise now. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just need to have a look at what's coming in, what's going out, and do some pruning.
Do you know the other thing that I think you really need to do?
Oh, what?
Take the time out yourself. Actually, make a conscious choice about taking that time out. I think because we're not organised, we're not yet organised. We haven't thought about our oracle or our crystal ball. And so we've sort of arrived at this time rather than planning for it. Even if you have arrived at it, take the time out. Don't be, fooled into thinking that worrying about it all weekend and not effectively resting is actually going to make a difference to the outcome here. What you can actually do here is take some time for yourself, spend some time with your family, rest, recuperate, get ready, make a plan for what the next couple of weeks will look like for your work. Start to think about how you can make some change. So next time the series of long weekends in a row rolls around, you're actually prepared. You don't have to spend this time worrying. That's not going to change anything. What will change is getting prepared, rested, trying to find a little bit of control and moving forward. You know what else you could do to get prepared? You could register for the Chaos to Control Challenge.
So on your Monday off, instead of panicking about your cash flow, go register for our challenge where we'll actually teach you how to avoid this next time.
We will. In short,
half
sharp,
an hour.
shiny half-hour lessons.
30 minutes.
We know that tradies don't like to be – it's not that they don't like to be taught. They don't like to sit in a classroom and be pointed at and lectured to. So that's not how we do this. We actually make the lessons really fun, enjoyable. We have a laugh at our own expense and encourage you to do the same. And we'll leave you with one really achievable tip at the end of each of these lessons that you can take from us and go and implement into your business to create some change immediately. So you're not actually turning up to yet another opportunity to learn and it's boring and yawn worthy and there's nothing you can take away and do. If you show up, we're going to give you some bonuses as well so that you've got some of those tools that you really need to make a difference. You'll walk away with over $1,000 worth of bonuses that will help you to implement the change that we're suggesting you make so that you can start to predict some of these challenging times that are upon us. There's no way to avoid them. They're here. And with a good hard plan, we can, I guess, roll through some of those challenges rather than getting stuck in them.
You know what this is like, Coxie?
A roller coaster?
No. No, that's what it's like to be in business with me. No, this is like our version of a tradie barbecue breakfast at the local supplier. You know, you go along and a rep comes and talks about the latest funky product and shows you all the new tools. But instead of just getting a crappy sausage on some bread with a bit of barbecue sauce for breakfast, what you actually walk away with is $1,000 worth of tools.
You do.
And all you got to do is turn up. And you don't even have to eat the shitty sausage.
You can bring yourself a beer even because it's at 5 p.m.
Yeah, that's right.
You can have a beer, kick back and listen to us.
Yeah. So
that sounds really good to me.
So all you have to do is turn up, take some learning so you can prepare better for next time, and walk away with $1,000 worth of tools for your business so that you can get better at managing your cash. And that's only one of the 5 areas we're going to actually cover.
Yes, only one. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the others in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll give you a bit of a sneak peek on what we're going to cover in the challenge. So hit the website, tradiesinbusiness.com.au. We'll put a pop-up on there to make it easy for you to find it. You can find us on socials as well. We're going to be talking about this for the coming weeks to make it easy for you to find the challenge and register. Costs you nothing to jump on. You walk away with a whole bunch of useful tools that you can put in place in your business, and you get to hang out with us for 30 minutes a day for 5 days. So it's not a lot of time, and we're going to show you the 5 main things that are going to make the biggest difference to your trade business between now and Christmas, so that Christmas time doesn't turn into another one of those crappy cash flow periods where you're stressing out. So get on it, Ken.
Very excitingly, at the end of that, we're going to throw open the doors to the Tradiepreneur program.
Absolutely.
We've spent 12 months working with some early adopters, some amazing early adopters, to get some brilliant results. And we want to bring them to more of you that are listening to this podcast. Now, you've been listening, many of you for a long time, some of you for a short period of time. I'm sure, like me, when I listen to amazing podcasts, that you're making promises to yourself. You're going to do this, or you're going to do that, or you give it a go, or you'll make this change. And then you find yourself another couple of months down the track scratching your head thinking, well, I was going to do that, but I just haven't had time. We're going to help you create some of that time with the Chaos to Control Challenge. Then we're going to throw open the doors to the Tradiepreneur program for 20 tradies only. 20 trade businesses. That's all we have space for at the moment. We're going to open the doors for a small period of time, and you'll find out all sorts about what's going on in the Tradiepreneur program during our Chaos to Control Challenge. So get on it. head on over to the website, www.tradiesandbusiness.com.au. There's a big pop-up there. Check out our socials. There's lots of links there for you. Register for the challenge. Let's get started.
Making a start is the key.
It is.
Hooroo.
Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business, and other cool stuff at tradiesandbusiness.com.au.